I'm starting a new art journal page today that I'm going to work on. It's cold and gloomy, and winter bear hibernation energy is in effect. Holy moly, so this is what emerged, this theme that I'm exploring in my life that I wrote in really dark black pencil. I've not worked with this pencil before. And then I started journaling about the aging process. It's happening whether I like it or not, and I have issues with it. There's pain, there's a slowing down. How can I better befriend this process because it's been painful these past couple of years? I'm not 100% sure where this page is gonna go. I've got just some water, and I'm just gonna activate some of this. And this idea that's coming through for me is if I were to paint, like there's a head of me, and there's a torso of me, and there's the legs of me, and that is the earth. And then maybe there's a tree that's my arm, and my fingers are these roots, and it turns into this tree of life. And somehow there's leaves being released as I'm in the autumn of my life. Holy moly. Something like that. All right, well, I have two colors that I'm gonna work with. I have a gold and I have a brown. And I have these pages from a magazine, and I'll use some of the excess paint on these and kind of start to get a little bit of a color palette going for the body that I want to create. I really don't know what all that means. So I'm going to say that there's a body. It's got like legs, and she's got this leg, and she's got a belly, and she has some breasts, and she has a butt and a back, and some curves there, and a neck, and a bit of a face. And that's the earth, and there's light, there's life in it still. So I'm gonna get some life on the body. And she's got an arm over there. Boom. So there's a form starting to take place. There's a leg. There's another leg. There's a breast and a belly and a butt and a face and an arm and a body. And then I'm gonna just put some of this extra paint on some pages. There we go. So any of the excess paint, I just throw it on pieces of paper. Here's another one of the pages that I did. I just put some extra paint on there. And I might even use my fingers right now and just kind of put my prints on it and make it less stripy and a little bit more textured. Right. And then there's a body. That's pretty cool. And that concept of the tree having these autumn leaves going out. So I'm just gonna start getting that energy activated a bit in this. All right, now I'm going to do the sky. So I have I'm working with the materials that I have. I'm going for a twilighty sky because aging takes us into the twilight and the autumn of our lives. That time of twilight where there's that crisp, wonderful blue. And there's a wisdom that comes in as we tap into that. And I'm going to take a little bit of orange. You know when the sun sets and that orange is on the horizon line? I'm just going to say I still have some of that light force alive in me. Can't seem to get it open though, so it's kind of dried. All right, this is going to be wonky. All right, I'm just going to do that with my finger then. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm going to take the twilight there's twilight. Ooh, that's an interesting texture vibe. Twilight, and just kind of use my fingers, get a little bit twilight mystery, la di da di da, da di da di, da di da di da da. This page is around honoring the aging process in me. There's a coming into a presence, there's a coming into a slower center that this aging process is activating in me. And I want to find some prayers and beauty and teachings in that. So connecting them with that prayer as I begin to journal. And then as I'm creating, I like to have a piece of paper nearby that I can use to put extra paint on or activate some energy with. Look at that. Ooh, I like that. Little heartbeat sign, right? Through the sky. Look at that. Boom. I still have life left right now in this breath. Woo! My body has traveled many paths. Oh, I am grateful for the journey. I am Earth, transforming. I am the seasons, spinning. There's like an autumn activation in my bones, spinning me through this journey of aging. Oh, skin, hair, blood, saliva, tears, sweat, breath. I'm really appreciating that purple and blue. That's beautiful. This piece of paper that's been holding extra ink has some green that I can bring down here into the earth and make it undulate. Making the earth undulate, baby. Nice. What? That's another part of art journaling, is this tearing of stuff. All right, let's see where this exploration leads. I feel like I want a foundation. Like as I'm exploring my aging process, I want to feel supported and connected to earth and nature. So I think I'm going to start with that foundation. If I have a healthy connection with the earth, I feel better in my body. I'm less fearful. I have access to allyship from the earth. Right? And I can kind of see the outlines of where this person's legs are going to be. So there's this earth that I can then rise up and travel upon. So even though I'm going into the autumn of my life with such deep intention and activation right now, I want to focus on the fact that in autumn, it's the season you harvest. There's actually quite a bit of abundance in harvest. It's not all dead and crackly, right? Autumn has abundance in it. And so I want to remind myself of that as I am laying this foundation of green and plenty down. It's like, wow, okay, autumn's not all death, right? So I'm going into the autumn of my life, and guess what? There is a lot of abundance. Yay! Honoring my aging process is also about harvesting the abundance of my life. Woo! As an act of prayer. So I took that piece of paper and tore it up and started making some texture for a ground. All right, I have some oil pastels that I'm gonna play with and get these mountains of life that I've traveled. This page is about honoring my aging body, and the mountains crumble into dirt, and that crumbling creates a foundation, a new terrain. Honoring my aging body is also honoring the natural cycles of life, the seasons, the wheel spins. Just being grateful that I've been able to experience the journey of life that I have had. That blends the edges together a little bit more. That creates some lovely texture. I used my stencils to cut out some tree shapes with some background images. This was just, an image of orange and purples, and this was an image that had some moons and pearls on it. And I love the moons, like the twilight of life is moving into twilight time, but there's these pearls of wisdom showing up on the tree of life. So I have these trees that I have available as well. All right, well, I added some yellow to this, and I love the striations. It makes it feel like a grove of trees. I'm gonna let that dry. And in the meantime, I've cut this tree out as well. I love the claw feeling down here. So I might make this the hand of the person that I'm going to collage onto this page. We'll see. I just love that. Look at that beautiful texture. It's like the blue sky piercing through the trees, the grove of trees. There's the gold of autumn coming down into the earth. You can still see some of my journaling and my collaging. Just building so many layers. It's so beautiful. Oh, I particularly love that. That's spectacular. All right, I have decided what 3 trees I'm gonna glue down first. That one's kind of hidden in that background. I might have to outline it with some gold pen once it's down. But let's get these glued down and see what happens. I have the roots of friendship. And I have foundation of support. Right? I have nutrients. I have a ground of being. I have love. I have friendships. I have the cycles of nature. I have God. I have spirit. And it's all connected. Yay! I love this saying. If the heart has devoted itself to love, there is not a single inch of emptiness. Gladness gleams all the way to the grave. And so I cut out some map and this rainbow to honor my journey through life and the rainbow journey it's taken. And then I collage some bits and pieces and scraps. And I have these 2 old hands. And I have some arthritis in my knees and hips. And so I just love this. So then I made those into legs. And so I have these legs, the maps that my legs have traveled and the arthritis and the aging. And so I also have these little cutouts, these die cuts that I made that I'm going to start to glue down on the page. And so I've got the legs of my woman starting to form. All right. I've continued to go through my collage materials, and here's the woman that emerged. I had this lovely infinity made out of these bones, and there's dirt in the pelvis. And then I found a picture of a woman, and I used her bathing suit. It looks like the ribs of a leaf, which ties into this autumn tree theme. And I had to jimmy rig the torso and piece together arms from different bodies so that it would move the right way. However, I have the shape of the woman starting to come alive. Yay! Wow. Placing this wheel in the center of the infinity belly, starting with birth and childhood and adolescent and adulthood and death lodge and second adulthood and elderhood and death and disappearance into the beyond, and re-emerging with the one center point always present in the soil of soul. Autumn of life. Harvesting abundance. Coming into presence. The little wisdom pops that have emerged through this creation process are finding their way into handwritten form on this page. I still have life right now in this breath. And so this is the piece that emerged as I was exploring the aging process and the autumn of my life and some of the struggles and hardships I was having with it, I was able to use art through the form of journaling and collaging and painting and stenciling and cutting out and creativity to find and navigate my way through to something a bit more positive and inspiring. And so maybe this share will inspire you to create art that honors the beauty and the magic of your life.